Hey folks, how you doing today? It is Clay the author here with an AuthorTube tag. Yeah, I got tagged for the In the Trenches tag by Cynthia Payne. I got tagged by Cynthia Payne. The original is by Stripped Cover Lit because he makes a ton of these, I guess. So that's kind of fun. So hey, thanks for tagging me, and I guess it's time to participate. Yeah, here goes nothing. Question 1. Do you have a sweet tarts? Do you have a project that turned you into a real writer? I don't even know if I'm a real writer yet, like now. But if I had a project that turned me into a real writer, it would be the one that I haven't even started writing yet. It's the project that I told my coworkers about that they said, well, that actually sounds like a good idea. Maybe you should write books. And it's a project about it's a story about a white necromancer. And so if you're familiar with necromancers, they raise dead. And, you know, no spoilers, etc., this, that, and the other. It would be very hard to have a white or good wizard who performs necromancy. In fact, that is not possible. So, through a series of events, etc., etc., it's not necessarily a new power, but something happens to give this guy powers, and he is not what you would consider to be a raise the dead style necromancer, even though, yeah, he brings folks back, as it were. And so that's kind of my fun project. It's my sweetheart project. It bleeds into question 2, which is, do you ever plan to work on a series length project? And it is a 9-book minimum kind of thing. The reason I haven't started it as a project is because I want it to span this character's entire life, such that they actually have 3, at bare minimum, 2 distinct life paths or stories that you can follow. That is their early time, and then the time after they become the necromancer. Because that will be such a character break in who they are and what happens. That is where, if it were a movie, when they become the necromancer is when the story would start. But I would really like to have it be an interesting, fun story where you're already a trilogy into the character when this event happens, so that it is as traumatic for the reader as it is for the character. That's what I'm hoping. But anyway, we'll see what happens with all that stuff. I'm a plotter, if you couldn't tell, so I do a lot of world building, so we'll see how much of this stuff comes to fruition. Question 3. Thoughts on mixed form projects, right? Short stories with poems inside them, you know, etc., that kind of stuff, right? So mixed form, I think I know what the question is meant by that, right? You know, poems inside stories and this, that, and the other, where you've got, you know, song and Tolkien, right? That's what he did, right? You know, if you've got a recipe for, you know, whatever, brown berry pie in your Brian Jacques book, you know, in your Redwall book, right? Then that's mixed form, right? That's a thing. That's very popular. That will always be popular. I mean, fantasy started that way, right? With Elvish in there and all that stuff. So I don't think that's a thing. However, the new mixed form, I believe, is mixed media. You're seeing it on Netflix already with those interactive movies, right? Which is basically just a choose your own adventure story for your TV. That's always been a thing. I think that's really where we're going to see the next push. We're already seeing moving cover art, right, all over the place. We're seeing book previews, right? So people are doing book trailers, excuse me. So people are doing movie trailers for their books now. And with applications like Twine, right, it becomes incredibly easy to seamlessly put in HTML, active, you know, yeah, you can make interactive books now. Really, really easily. Ebooks make that, like, it's nothing. It's there. It's easy. It's just nobody's been doing it because nobody's got it right, and nobody's had a signpost, a poster child to say, do it like this, right? Write your fan fiction like 50 Shades of Grey. We don't have that yet for write your interactive ebook fiction like this. We don't have that yet. Nobody succeeded at it. That is a major hole that somebody can go and fill. It's there, it's real. If anybody actually has any ideas for that, hit me up down below. I'd love to see what you guys are doing, because I can code that all up. I can write all that stuff. I just don't, I don't know. I'm not really inspired by it, I gotta be honest. I'd rather just write, because I code for a living. I like the prose creation, but branching logic, man, makes it more interesting. All right. Number 4. Where do I picture publishing in 10 years? I picture publishing in the next 10 years just like Steam has done with green lighting new video games. Barnes & Noble is going to say, oh shoot, we can't have Amazon taking this big a piece of our pie. Let's go ask the audience who they want to be crowdsourced, right? And it's going to be these kinds of things where you're going to have a Barnes & Noble publishing house, right? Barnes & Noble is going to say, you know what? We'll bet on that book. We'll bet on that author. We'll bet our shelf space, right? We'll put that up for risk. That's going to be that new paradigm, right? Because that's what they have to risk, shelf space. So why wouldn't they try to get that piece of the pie? Of course they're going to try to get that piece of the pie. And so, yeah, I see publishing going into big box publishing, trying to get more and more of the digital pie. And I could even see, stealing from that Netflix model, right? I bring it up, but Netflix has shown us the subscription model works. We're not doing a subscription model for traditional publishing, right? There is no Tor subscription that you can get and then get, all the latest Tor copies. That's the future, though. That's what people want to see. People would totally get, if they trusted the brand, their Tor Unlimited, just like Kindle, right? But they haven't caught on, right? So we'll see what happens with publishing and them involving themselves in the future. But they have to, otherwise they won't be a part of it. So that's that. Number 5, if I could have one booktuber review my work, who would it be? Well, this is where I have to admit my shortcomings as an author-tuber and or community participant. I have no idea. Literally the only guy I could think of is Daniel Green, because I love him. He has totally different opinions than me. Actually, he loves the Temeraire books. He loves that little dragon in Lawrence, and I'm just like, psh, 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 shut up, Temeraire. But I love his reviews. I love how honest he is. He just did a I don't want to dog this guy review about Terry Goodkind, right? And I loved his first 2 books, actually, but that's a whole other side. And it was great because I agreed with everything this kid said. It was awesome. Now, did I like the first book? Yeah, I did. But granted, I read it the year it came out. So I didn't have... I don't think it's 20 years old. It's old. I didn't have a decade of experience, right, in hindsight, to kind of look at it and see, what has come out, how derivative is this, etc., etc. Daniel Green, though, because, 1, I would love to get to that point where he even saw that I existed as a human being and author, right? That'd just be cool. 2, I want to see what some of these other people think about my books. Not just people who think like me, but people who think different than me. Because that's more fun. That's how I am. Number 6. Writer's quarrel, right. What author would I want to spat with? Well, I can't really think of any, to be honest, right? Real spats, I would totally go toe-to-toe with Patrick Rothfuss any day of the week on any subject for anything in any... I'm sorry, I am not awestruck by that guy at all, not even a little bit, and I would go toe-to-toe with him in anything. Prose, anything. I won't write like that. I don't write those kind of prose, but I'm a musician. Like, you want to go toe to toe with me on prettiness and rhythmic beating and emotional, like, oh, it hurts the feels. Yeah, dude, don't even try to step to me, Rothfuss. So, spatting wise, as far as like reality goes, yeah, that guy needs to be taken down a couple of pegs. And from a nobody musician loser like me, I'd be the perfect guy to do it. But like, as far as like fun actual spats, like I would love to spat with somebody like Jim Butcher, like for fake, or like that Chris Fox guy, you know, like go and make fun of Chris Fox's, you know, like Bert the Dark Lord Bert book that he's got going on, right? You know, like I would love to just like oh, and you created that just for the YouTube views, and the only reason that's popular is because, you know, you have a YouTube channel and you did a whole series about how to write a book like that. Just for the views, just for the, like, you know, the rap battle style, like, oh, these guys hate each other, oh, they're feuding. Like, that would be really fun. I just think that would be fun because I like those guys, right? I think Jim Butcher's an awesome personality. Like, I like watching him, right? So it'd be fun to set myself in opposition to that. Just, I think it'd be good TV, right? 7, have I ever been a part of a writer's group? No, I've never taken a professional art class. I've never been part of an art group. I've never taken a professional writing class. I've never been part of writing. I don't do any of that stuff. All of this stuff I've learned all on my own. 8, do I have a favorite writer's craft book? And no, I don't. I don't actually do writer's craft books. I do websites, I do YouTube videos, I do, you know, individuals who have lessons they can teach me about certain this, that, or the others, and what I can learn from screenplays, and you know, just anything I can grab from. But it's got to be short. It's got to be a tidbit. If it's in a book and I have to read an example story about the time you went in for a job interview and you actually used this thing that you're going to teach me, no. It's a paragraph. There's 4 steps to it. Show it to me, and I'll use it if I find it useful. I don't want to hear your 6 anecdotes about how you did use it and how I could possibly. No. So I don't do books on craft writing, right? Because oftentimes they're full of anecdotes, and I hate that stuff. I just want manuals. And so, if you've got any good ideas for like writing manuals, you know, like the whatchamacallit guide to style and that kind of stuff, like those are super useful. I love that kind of stuff. There is an emotional something thesaurus that this woman wrote that is, it's absolutely amazing. I can't remember what it's called right now off the top of my head, but the Emotional Thesaurus, awesome. Because what is it? A bunch of words that you can use to replace other emotional words, right? So that you can be more emotionally verbose in the way you like. Oh yeah, that's the kind of stuff I want, right? Cheat sheets and stuff like that to be like, hey, I need to know how to do this one thing really quick, let me look up a technique. So that's what I like. And then 9, do I have a least favorite craft book? No, but they're going to be the ones with the stories in them. This one time I did this and then I applied it. None of that. I can't handle it. That's it, folks. That's my video. Yeah, I'm supposed to tag folks. And so since I don't really have a whole lot of authortube friends, except for hi Cynthia and Carol Brown, hi. But I found a couple of dudes who don't have a whole lot of followers who I decided to follow and like. And Tongues and Typos, I'm going to tag you, dude. Hi, welcome to the community. And the writer Markus Regius, because I like his fashion sense and I need to make him have him make more videos so we can see what kind of clothes he puts on, because good stuff. Keep it bright, boy. All right, you guys enjoy. Thank you so much for watching and liking the video, because I'm sure you all pushed like already, right? Like at least like minutes ago. And subscribed. I'm sure you all already did that too, because you couldn't possibly live without more of these ridiculous updates from Author and BookTube, right? See you guys later.